Okay guys, we're going to go over lesson 2's homework for module 4. We're going to figure out if the angles are greater than, less than, or equal to right angles. The first one's already been done for us, showing us that it's acute, it's less than 90 degrees. The second one, if you turn it sideways, you can tell it is a 90-degree angle, so it's right. Part C, it's a little bit larger, so it's considered obtuse. Part D is larger, so it's obtuse. Part E is smaller, so it's considered acute. Part F is just a little bit bigger, so it's considered obtuse. G is right. H is acute, it's small. I is obtuse. And then J is right if you turn it just a little bit to see. On to number 2, this one's a little bit more difficult. What it's asking you to do is to look at the painting and figure out some acute, obtuse, and right angles. So I'm going to take some time and I'm going to trace each one of these types of angles and name them below, color coding them so you can see which is each. So first we're going to start off with acute, and I'm going to find an acute angle in this painting. So I'm going to use this yellow color to trace an acute angle that I see, and I see one right here. So with these lines, and I'm going to label them. I'm going to give them some letters so I can name it. So I'm going to name it A, B, C. So I'm going to label this angle ABC, or I could say CBA. Okay, next I'm going to find another acute angle and I'm going to trace it in another color so it's easy to see. Found one right here. It's clearly less than 90 degrees, so it's acute. And I'm going to label it again, so I'm going to call it D, E, F. I also could call it FED. Now I'm going to look for some obtuse angles in this painting. That's a little bit harder, but it just needs to be something that's more than 90 degrees. So more than like a corner of a piece of paper. And I found one right here, trace it in red. I'm going to call it GHI, or I could say IHG. And I'm going to trace another one. Let's see where I can find one. I'm going to trace it in different color. And I found one up here that's more than 90 degrees. So it's obtuse, and I'm going to label it JKL. So I'm going to call it JKL down here. I also could call it LKJ as long as the vertex is in the middle. Now I need to find two right angles in this painting. I'm going to use a blue color. So it needs to be exactly 90 degrees, like the corner of a piece of paper. I found one right here. And I'm going to label it MNO. So I could call it MNO or ONM. And then I need to find one more right angle in this painting. I'm going to use black, and I found one right here. I'm going to label it PQR, or I could call it RQP, either way, as long as the vertex is in the middle. Alright, and for this last section of the homework, it says using a straight edge and the right angle template, which if you didn't bring home, you can really just use the corner of a paper, to create one of these angles and then compare it to a right angle. So I'm going to draw an acute angle. So really anything less than 90 degrees. So this will do. And a statement I could write would be that an acute angle is less than a right angle. Okay, for the right angle, that's just going to be anything that's exactly 90 degrees. So I'm going to do my best right here. You could use a corner of a piece of paper again if you don't have your template with you. And a right angle is equal to a right angle. It's equal to 90 degrees. And then for an obtuse, it's anything larger, well, really between 90 and 180. And so this is just a little bit bigger than a right angle. And we know that an obtuse angle is greater than or more than a right angle. All right, and that should be it for tonight's homework.